Hello, Hojoz here, and welcome back to this another fight competition. Today, the CE Bulbus Mark 1 by me will battle the PEGASys M1 by the amazing Cowpig. And the Stingray by Senner will battle the Alpha 1X by Bulbus Aerospace. It should be pretty obvious who wins here, as the right side is looking rather good here. Let's go to the airfield and see whether I'm right or not. Now with that out of the way, the usual brackets have been revealed for this episode. And next episode, I guess we'll have to do just one battle. Kinda sad that I couldn't organize that properly. Anyway, we are here on the runway with the PEGASys and the Bulbus. And I'm just going to make a quick prediction here. I know from myself that the Bulbus, on the Bulbus I mounted these two guns first, and only then did I mount the central gun mounted here. Now, in a recent BDAC forum post by Bulbus Aerospace, actually on the old BDAC forum, a long discussion about that one, posted that if you mount the most backward guns first, you're going to have poor accuracy. Now if you mount the front guns first, then you'll have the normal accuracy. So yeah, based on that, I think the Bulbus will lose here. And well, the PEGASys is, I think, in my honest opinion, a better plane anyway. Finally, before I start, I hope you can hear the game. Because the last 3 episodes it's kind of been an issue that you couldn't hear the game. And with that out of the way, let's start the first round of the competition with the almightily loud PEGASys M1 to fly on board with. Or is it PEGASys M1? Which I only just now realized. The amazing Cowpig will have to land a comment on that in the comments, saying if PEGASys YSM1 or PEGASys M1 is the correct pronunciation. Well then, what should I talk about very quickly? I don't know. You're probably watching this on a Tuesday, because I couldn't upload it at 5 PM on a Monday. In fact, 5 PM is just about 45 minutes away. Actually, more like 35 minutes away from now. Well then, the competition has started, and that Bulbus is doing a weird one, and that Bulbus is doing a weird one. Oh, they crashed. I suppose I should then revert and give the Bulbus another chance. As I said in the last episode with the Bulbus, I think that was episode 2, you'll see it in the iCards right now, the Bulbus is very prone to colliding with itself. Even when you're positioning it so that it won't collide with itself, you fucking annoying fuck. Bulbus. Yes, you are annoying, Bulbus. I don't know why these craft collide with each other so often, and I don't know why it doesn't matter when I put them apart. But yeah, I guess I can't do anything about that, and I'll just have to reload to give the Bulbus another chance at competent fighting and not crashing into each other. Which, come on, man, please don't do that. Well, it's about time that they cross over in their weird mating dance. This is how baby Bulbuses are made. Nah. Okay, they did correctly do their thing now. So yeah, move along with the battle, as if nothing happened. The PEGASys then, very loud plane, probably the superior plane, but we still have to prove that one, as we are getting into the lock-on range. of the Bulbuses. The PEGASys not having their missile set correctly. Anyway, missiles come in, aim 120s, no aim 9s actually. Aim 120, heading towards the Bulbuses, but every missile has been dodged, as is usual with competent planes. Another aim 9 heading towards one of the Bulbuses and gunfire towards the bottom Bulbus. And I think that missile gonna hit. Yeah, the missile hit. And it's a 2v1 for just one of the Bulbuses. I think the wingman will have to step in and show that a wingman is very important to keep. And I think he has done by launching missile there. Or it's just getting a bogus reading. Yeah, it's getting a bogus reading from that aim 9 over there that is not doing anything. So, it's a Bulbus firing an aim 9 towards the PEGASys, and no, that it's actually the wrong battle that I was looking at, because this PEGASys got struck by a missile and died. Well then, you just blew yourself up. Other PEGASys, it's now your job to defend against the 2v1, hoping that you actually did some damage in the gunfire towards the other Bulbus, because otherwise you ain't gonna make it. Let's see, I mean, it was pretty much a direct missile hit. It should have taken damage there. Oh, it's actually that Bulbus focusing on the other PEGASys that is pretty much down. And nearly running into the ground, as is per usual with the Bulbus trying to avoid missiles. Except, it wasn't dodging missiles this time, it was trying to engage the PEGASys, which was basically dead. Well then, this PEGASys is now engaging the Bulbus, or rather the Bulbus engaging the PEGASys, but since it's a head-on, the AI doesn't care. Ooh, Bulbus, don't fly into the ground. Ooh, the PEGASys don't fly into the ground. Neither have flown into the ground, which is good for excitement on the battle in chat. Well then, Bulbuses, you're going to have to make a move right now, because this PEGASys is pretty much having free reign upon what you are doing. Oh, that was nearly a collision there. Might want to be more careful with positioning your aircraft there, AI. Oh well, the AI, it's just to be the AI, let's just keep it at that. The PEGASys is now actually firing towards the Bulbus, with the wingman Bulbus firing upon the PEGASys. And we can now see that the PEGASys has indeed taken some damage, because it's only firing with 1 or 2 guns. Or it's just having the guns positioned so closely to one another that it looks like it's just firing 1 or 2 guns. Oh no, that's actually 1 air intake on the PEGASys. So surely some imbalance there, as an aim 9 is fired and completely misses. Wow, we didn't even have to fire flares on that one. But yeah, as I said before in my prediction, the Bulbus not landing any hits here. And well, it's probably going to come down on fuel. And actually, I thought of a new rule yesterday. I'm going to just disregard if planes run out of fuel or ammo, the side with the most planes left will get the win, and that is if all planes run out of ammo or fuel. As PEGASys, no, PEGASys still has fuel, right? Come on, Dan. No, the PEGASys actually runs out of fuel. Well, I'm going to have to call that for the Bulbus then, since this will crash into the ground. Maybe even get hit by some more gunfire. But yeah, I'm going to have to call that 1-0 on the Bulbuses. As there is actually a hit, a rare hit from the Bulbus. That has pretty much profited from taking one PEGASys out with a missile. The missiles being actually vulnerabilities for the PEGASys, despite the guns only being set to engage air targets, not missile targets. Anyway, time to hit the F9 button, because this PEGASys is doomed. And it's also time to ride on board with the Bulbus. Well then, Looks like we have quite a battle on our hands, as long as one PEGASys is taken out of the missile. And we know from the last episode, I think already, that Dr. Friendly Feline, that Bulbus is kinda prone to blowing itself up with its own missiles. So, based upon that fact, I think the PEGASys will eventually still win this one, because I am half expecting a Bulbus to blow itself up upon initial missile firing. Anyway, we're heading into the air for another battle, the second battle of the second round of not the second season of the Starfight competition. I'm sorry, the third season of the Starfight competition. Now the second season would have fit better, but I'm sorry, it's the third season. Eldar, I'm sorry, it's the third season. I really have to turn Discord notifications off, because that's going to distract me while in the middle of a battle. I just know it. Here actually you can see quite a poor turn rate from the Bulbus, indicating that, yeah, it's probably just going to win on missiles. However, turn rate isn't that important in this battle. Oh, called it. One Bulbus just blew itself up with its own missile. So, PEGASys, yours to lose now. They fired an AIM-120 and there's no chaff being fired. Ah well, it dodged anyway. That's just how bad AIM-120s are apparently. Not in 1.2.2 they aren't. Look at that, the PEGASys are actually focusing on the dead Bulbus. That's actually a tiny advantage towards the other one. But no, they've quickly realized that the other Bulbus was actually dead already. And that this is going to hit. And it's a pretty easy 1-1 for the PEGASys. As I said, it's going to be a pretty easy battle when one of the PEGASys craft isn't taken out by missile. I'm going to call the plural of PEGASys PEGASy, because it sounds fun. Third round then, second round lasting a whole lot shorter than the first round. As the PEGASy took an easy victory there. PEGASy. Sounds pretty fun to say. I hope that I'll be saying that another time in CFC. Anyway, the very loud PEGASys, of course, battling this very loud Bulbus in a drone-only battle. Actually, surprised that I didn't say anything about that, because obviously it's a drone-only battle. Because you don't see a cockpit on the Bulbus and you don't see a cockpit on the PEGASy. There you have it again. Well, yeah, actually the Destructomatic Mini by Jolly Roger Aerospace, which was supposed to be entered into this competition, but sadly due to time constraints couldn't. That had a cockpit merged into the craft, which is of course perfectly legal in CFC. As we try to engage the Bulbuses, and let's see how the PEGASy will do in this battle. Of course, the Bulbus having the lock-on advantage because tiny issue with setting up your missiles there. Amazing how big. Anyway, missiles fired on both sides now. An AIM-120 heading towards the Bulbuses, and quite a lot of AIM-9s heading towards the PEGASy. But two missiles actually hitting each other there in midair. Pretty funny. And it's a last-minute AIM-9 towards this PEGASys, and the other missile actually saved the PEGASys from being hit by an AIM-9. Because it looked like it would have been hit. Anyway, Bulbus being engaged on the rear by the PEGASys, which is engaging the other PEGASys, also engaging the Bulbus Bulbus actually there not firing against it, and that is a dead Bulbus actually there. Surely those have been enough hits to where the Bulbus will die, Dr. Jim MDOB. No, yeah, the Bulbus actually died. Because I presume that this cannot fly for long. And then the other Bulbus, it's up to you to defend the honor of the Bulbuses after taking a 3-0 in the last episode you were featured. Kinda hurts being defeated this easily now, doesn't it, Bulbus? Ah well, can't do anything about it. Sending 2 aim-9s towards the rival PEGASys and hits. 2 hits and a downed PEGASys. As you can see there, still the aim-9s being the weakness of the PEGASys. PEGASys apparently can't dodge. Well then, it's up to this PEGASys to finish off the Bulbus, which surely it can. Because Bulbus, pretty much inferior maneuverability, pretty much inferior gun setup, inferior in every way. And thus, the PEGASys should still win this one. Unless, of course, the PEGASys runs out of ammo. Or makes a mistake like that. The Bulbus will try to profit from that, or just take out the other PEGASys, which has basically already been taken out because it doesn't have a weapon range anymore. Nice job there, Bulbus. And it's pretty much your own fault that you're being engaged with aim-9s now. And sooner rather than later, gunfire. As those 3 Vulcans are lighting up on the PEGASys. And we are just waiting for a hit there. Because on the last Bulbus, they hit. So they should hit on this Bulbus too. At least, that is what I assume. And sometimes assumptions are proven wrong. And actually, in my case, quite often, assumptions are proven wrong. Anyway, off topic there. PEGASys firing short bursts, but in short intervals. Which surely helps there, as nice dancing there from the Bulbus, not actually being balanced. But PEGASys actually having made a mistake there and letting the Bulbus on its 6, and it's a hit. It's a few hits. Can't work out if that's because it was a fired missile or because the guns actually hit. As an aim-9 heads towards the Bulbus, but it can't actually lock on to Bulbus. Let's investigate for damage. Oh yeah, that just looks like typical missile damage for the PEGASys, so I presume it's a missile fired by the very same plane that now has some damage. Maybe even the gun hitting the missile right as it was being fired, which would have been pretty funny. Anyway, more M230 fire from the Bulbus. M230, I think at least, the superior gun when you actually have a maneuverable plane, which I obviously don't. I'm very bad at building maneuverable planes, although that has gotten a little bit better in more recent years. Well then, it's time to engage with your M230s again. Close range, no hits. This is going to go on forever, isn't it? No, it's going to go on until one of these planes runs out of fuel for the 14th Doctor. Or until this head-on decides. Oh no. That was pretty piss poor aiming there from the AI. Because the AI doesn't like head-ons, and I can see why. Anyway, Bulbus then, come on man. It's just resulting in constant head-ons. And surely, at some time, someone will kill the other, and that's been a hit. And the Bulbus pretty maneuvering a little bit worse now, and it's engaging in a flat spin. And it now lost one of its tail fins, which is its primary and actually its only source of pitch, and it's now lost all the fuel and all the electric charge. Well, I guess that Bulbus is killed. And this is also losing its electric charge, and pretty soon losing its liquid fuel. And well, I'm going to then call it on whoever ran out of fuel first, which is the Bulbus, which also took damage. So it only makes sense to give this one to the PEGASys with a 2-1. Unless, of course, the Bulbus can finish off the PEGASys, or the PEGASys just fires an aim-120 to just prove my point. Actually, I think that missed. Oh no, it's just heading in now. No, it missed. PEGASys, you have any missiles left? No. You still have ammo though. You won't reach the Bulbus one until the Bulbus crashed into the ground. So yeah, 2-1 for the PEGASys, as it pretty much looks like the Bulbus is going to leave this competition today. And to be honest, I have no issue with that, because the PEGASys is simply the superior plane. I mean, I think we can all agree on that the PEGASys is the superior plane. The Amazing Cowpig, of course, the superior creator to me. Because, well, I can't think of a situation where I would be better than the Amazing Cowpig. Because, well, the Amazing Cowpig engages in the jet fighting, the air superiority competition for as far as I know, looking at how competitive he is. And I don't. And the Amazing Cowpig has a better track record on PFC, and I don't. So that pretty much proves that the PEGASys should be the superior plane towards the Bulbus, or maybe if I pull the miracle out of my bag, which surely I haven't, the Bulbus is actually the superior plane, but it all depends on when and where missiles hit. As we engage once more for the 4th round of the first match of the 2nd round of the 3rd season of the Sadar Fighter competition. And surely I couldn't have completed that sentence in one breath, and I haven't. Missiles fired towards the PEGASys, and one missile, of course, just basically blows up the Bulbus. And this should then be an easy victory for the PEGASys craft. As you've seen last time out, a 2v1 doesn't go with the Bulbus, unless one Bulbus has been killed by gunfire or missile hit in later matches. Well, it is when it's actually going for a very, very opportunistic, very last minute aim 9, or it's just trying to engage a friendly Bulbus. Okay then. That sure is a disadvantage towards engaging your actual enemy, the PEGASys. And I think those two will hit. 1 hit and 2 hit. And no Bulbus. As it pretty much looked like the Bulbus didn't even care about the missile, apart from firing flares, of course. It didn't really maneuver, and it didn't really disengage its afterburners. Anyway, one could argue that it was a pretty easy 3-1 for the PEGASys. And it is time to switch towards the 2nd battle of today, which of course will be the I don't know against the I don't know. Let's switch to the battle. I don't know and I don't know, of course, meaning Alpha plane versus Beta plane. Thanks for George Aerospace, because he made that transfer possible. Anyway, it will be the Stingray against the Alpha 1X. Let's begin the battle and tell my predictions during these craft taking off. Now, my predictions then. I think the Alpha 1X will win this one, although I shouldn't underestimate the Stingray. I mean, I underestimated the Stingray once already, and that one time it beat my Asari. So it's it doesn't look good in that aspect, because every time that I predict the Stingray to lose, the rifle plane loses. Although every time means once. Anyway, Stingray, you also have the very apparent weakness of your air intakes being located right there. So wouldn't be surprised if they get taken out by the first missile hit. Anyway, time to fire missiles towards the Alpha 1X, while the Alpha 1X is very, very busy trying to lock. As there the AIM-120s go against Stingrays. Actually 2 AIM-120s against 1 Stingray it looked like there. But no, nothing hit, as is per usual. Or no, actually something did hit, and surely that won't survive. Well then, looks like the Alpha 1X has this one in the back, as more AIM-120s head towards this other Stingray, and also AIM-9s, I think. So yeah, a varied package of missiles being fired towards this Stingray. But this Stingray survives it. Although that AIM-19, wow. AIM-9, nah, it doesn't do anything. Well then, Alpha 1X, it's up to you to lose this one, or rather, to win. As those are 2 AIM-9 missiles locking onto locking onto another missile, and the other taking out a lot of Alpha 1X bits. Oh, this one doesn't look healthy, it's the unhealthy one. And well, that Alpha 1X isn't going anywhere, and 1 Stingray isn't going anywhere. Ooh, and that's a missile hit. And what did it just lose? Oh, it lost basically all pitch authority that isn't related to gimbling. Something tells me that this won't end well. The other Stingray, by the way, excellent job there of still being alive. And Alpha 1X there, excellent job of not being alive. As that very alive Alpha 1X is trying to engage the Stingray there. As you don't have to engage that one, mate. That Alpha 1X is pretty much already dead. And Alpha 1X, you don't have to engage that one, mate. That Stingray is now dead. There to go 2 missiles, and both hit, and the entire rear of the plane is gone. Something tells me that that is pretty terminal damage. And wow, look, it's actually intakes merged into the Stingray. I didn't realize this one, but that's surely something that the Bumblebee doesn't have, and what killed the Bumblebee. As there the Stingray lands, and the Alpha 1X takes it home, but not without losses. It is of course very sad, and not what anyone expected, especially after my prediction. But it's still a 1-0 for the Alpha 1X, so we should be happy. As we go on board with the Alpha 1X, as it's time for the second round. And it's time to see whether the Alpha 1X will win a second round, or if the Stingray can come back from an unfortunate missile hit on 1 Stingray and multiple unfortunate missile hits on the other Stingray. But it's really though that first missile hit that mattered, because that pretty much put 1 Stingray out of the fight and made 1 Alpha 1X engage 1 crippled Stingray, which made 1 Stingray take out 1 Alpha 1X. See, it's all connected now. Anyway, we are at engagement range. As the planes turn around, and it's time to see who will fire its missiles first. And I think that answer will be the Stingray. As once again it shows that it's better to have only AIM-9s equipped in starfight competition. As there the AIM-9s go towards the Alpha 1Xs, and that's a tiny blow up on the Stingray's part there. And the AIM-120s also get fired, and the entire missile salvo has now been cleared. With the Alpha 1X taking some damage there, but it's still a bit alive, when Stingray also being downed, and that is not actually all the missiles being avoided, which is sad. Anyway, it's 2v1, and the Stingray pretty much looking to engage the wrong Alpha 1X. So I think we all know what happens here, don't we? There. Battle 1. Wow, that was just a very, very easy one for the Alpha 1Xs. As this time, the bottom wings of the Alpha 1X get destroyed. Huh. But yeah, 2-0 for the Alpha 1X, and it looks to be an easy 3-0 for the Alpha 1X to take home. At least for the Alpha 1X to lose. Stingray then. Don't know what it is. It's apparently very bad at dodging A120s though. It is very sad. But as we've also seen, the Alpha 1X is also pretty bad at dodging A9s. So you would say that that cancels itself out, but no. Because the Stingray is bad at dodging the initial A120s, which then basically ensures that the Stingray loses the battle. Anyway, if you have some more in-depth analysis, please provide me with an essay in the comments, because I do love my essays, and you'd know that if you watch PFC. Now then, possibly the final match. It is match point, and it is time to match. As one Alpha 1X is clearly ahead of the other Alpha 1X. And surely that would be a disadvantage to one Alpha 1X, because the Alpha 1X that is in front will basically receive all of the missiles. And the second Alpha 1X will have free reign on whether to engage something or not. As there goes one A120 directly heading at this Stingray. Not hitting though. And two more A120s heading at this Stingray. Not hitting though. And that Alpha 1X is engaging the Stingray with guns. And I think that was actually a missile hit that took out another Stingray. So yeah, I think we just established that the Stingray is pretty bad at dodging missiles. Or was it then a missile fired by itself that blew the plane up? Could be too, because I didn't see the missile strike. Anyway, that Alpha 1X surely is dead by now. Yeah, it lost its engine, so presumably it also lost half its wings, and it surely now is basically dead. After that, after those missile hits. Well then, all the other Alpha 1X, it's up to you to finish the job. And there come more A120s. And then possibly more hits, which they don't. An A9, which misses the Stingray horribly, and some gunfire. Sounds like a lovely, lovely recipe for victory. I do love my cooking recipes. Well then, Alpha 1X, yours to lose, yours to mess up. And the Stingray enters a tiny bit of a flat spin, which surely means that it won't be able to pull up now. It actually does pull up, though the damaged Alpha 1X having landed now. And the other Alpha 1X, please have some missiles left. No, we'd rather engage with guns. Alright then, I don't have any issue with that. But make sure to hit. Yes, thank you for the hit there. I think that took out some countermeasure boxes though. And yeah, that's the Stingray sliced in half. And a rather easy victory for the Alpha 1X. Although this Alpha 1X would argue against that. And Jolly Roger Aerospace takes home another win. It shouldn't surprise you. What would surprise you is that I'm going to ask you the question. Do you still enjoy the outro music that it's Bureaucratic Boys Pop? Or would you like to see this being varied with another song? Of course, preferably by Bureaucratic as well. As Of course, polls have been proven to not be very useful in this channel existence, because I don't know how to view polls without voting in them myself. I'd like for you to make a comment on that, and search up Bureaucratic and just pick your favorite song, if you do want Boys Bog to be changed. But for now, it's just going to be Bureaucratic Boys Bog. And we will see you in the next episode of the Dark Fight Competition, preferably airing on Friday at 5 PM, which should be the usual schedule. Goodbye, I'm off to work on some Minecraft 1.13.1 stuff.